that we win this competition.
It would mean everything for Danish cricket. The amount of cricket we play at the moment is not enough. Playing more cricket and more tournaments is always exciting for Denmark or Danish cricket as well.
It'd be massive for us. I mean, we're the smallest nation competing. We've got homegrown players that have come through the age groups, and it'd just be great, you know. Same as every team here, you always want to win a tournament, so we have to get it done on the pitch.
Good afternoon and welcome to live coverage of the third game of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Final 2019. You join us at a damp but brightening once again KG5 ground here in Guernsey, where we have another interesting encounter ahead of us. The host Guernsey take on an ambitious German side who are going to be playing their first game of the tournament. I'm once again joined alongside by former Irish international cricketer Ciara Metcalfe. Well, we've had the one game already in which we saw Jersey complete a pretty comprehensive victory over the host, it's fair to say. So what are we thinking ahead of this clash?
I think the wicket might play a little bit of a part now this game. We'll have to have a look. I know Germany won the toss and they're going to bowl. So I'm interested to see who. We haven't actually got the batting lineup yet for Jersey. I'm interested to see if they reverse the order. I know Jos Buttler did very good for his team, captain, and I'm just interested to see how it's going to be put together.
Well, this tournament is all part of the qualification pathway for the Men's T20 World Cup held in Australia in 2020. The winner of this tournament will then progress to the global qualifier held in the UAE in October and November, where they get the opportunity to be playing against some of the big boys in associate cricket, likes of Hong Kong, Scotland and the Netherlands, and an opportunity. Technically they're only 2 competitions away from playing in the 2020 World Cup
in Australia. What an exciting challenge. Guernsey will definitely have to come to the game and really step it up here today. Germany are warming up well. And again, we spoke about this in the first game. We could see the difference between the two guys warming up, and it did come into the game then. So let's see how this plays out.
Well, like we said, we were just here ahead of the last game we just played, Guernsey versus Germany. But this is the lineup that we're going to be looking at possibly for the Guernsey team. Not officially properly confirmed. We'll just double check if there's any major changes in the side, but it doesn't look so. But it was an interesting game we saw. Yeah, it was
interesting how they went about the game actually. A lot of singles. I think in fairness to Jersey, they bowled line lengths really good. They stuck to their game plans and they were happy for Guernsey to take the singles. There was 6 fours scored in total. So that actually speaks a lot when you're talking about T20 cricket.
Well, they put on 108 for 6 in their 20 overs, but we saw them play a lot of singles. It was very... When you think of the modern game and you think of 2020 cricket, it's not exactly the display we got from the Guernsey side in comparison to the Jersey side, who went full guns blazing. Probably a smart decision considering the rain that they came lashing down about 10 minutes after the finish of play. So maybe they had the weather forecast in their head. But what can Guernsey do mentally after this change around? After a heavy defeat like that, what can they do?
Well, I think they need to absolutely put the last game out of their mind and continue with the rest of the competition and the game at hand. They need to regroup and have a good warm-up and take that momentum out onto the pitch.
So we had a look at the middle earlier before the start of play before the first game, but we've been walking around the middle as you see the teams preparing with the Guernsey side in front of us, looking to build a little momentum, and the Germany side made a couple of smiles on their faces as they were walking around game 1 today. But what were the conditions looking like earlier, Ciara?
Well, I did touch on it earlier on. The Germans were here very early, and they would have seen the Guernsey guys in action, and so they could take a little bit out of that. Just having a look at the wicket, obviously it's the second game on it, and just one end was staying pretty low. So I wonder if the German side have picked up on it. Again, speaking to the captain earlier on today, and the groundsman, he reckoned 140 to 160 would be par in this pitch. I don't know about that.
Well, it was the same mentality. We got told that the 150 was going to be par, but after looking at the performance from both sides, to be honest, maybe Jersey could have looked closer if they batted first at 150. But looking at the scores from, for example, both the sides, from the German side and also the Guernsey side, I mean, you're seeing on average 120, 130 seems to be a par T20 score for these sides.
Maybe that could be a reflection of it being, I suppose, the first game nerves. You know, you're kind of easing into the competition. But I suppose with T20 and would have been a short week, you don't have time for that. You've got to hit the ground running. So I'm interested to see how the Germans approach this today.
Absolutely, there's a lot of talent on show. This is certainly a German side. If we talk about them for a second, that have plenty to perform, plenty to display, plenty to perform. The likes of Daniel Weston, the wicket keeper, 36-year-old left-handed batsman, plenty to show off as well. And the Izatua Dalatsa as well, the former Afghanistan international, now playing for Germany, right-handed batsman. He's got a lot in his locker, as well as Vijay Bangalore as well.
Yeah, and I think looking at from an age group as well, they're slightly older, so there might be a little bit more experience there. They've a very good coach of Noxie is there with them. Those guys, who's also the Scottish women's coach. This guy's been around. He's a good knowledge of cricket, and I'm interested to see how he puts it all together.
Well, yes, like you said, Stephen Knox doubling up in his roles as national coaches for Germany and also the Scottish Wildcats team as well. In terms of the Guernsey side, who are the ones to watch in that lineup? Like you said, we had a fantastic knock from the captain, Josh Butler, earlier.
We also saw some really good bowling actually from Dave Hooper. He held the team together for a couple of overs there when they needed to actually build pressure, and it just didn't come off. There was a couple of release shots there. I think not losing a wicket up too early would actually be key here. They did seem to lose the key guy of maybe Ashley Wright, who might usually put on runs for them, and he went very early. So if he just takes his time and gets in, it actually could have a knock-on effect to the whole team.
Well, like you said, we've got Germany winning the toss and electing to bowl. Was that a tactical decision after what they watched earlier?
I think it might be, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, what we're going to do, like we said, this is a tournament in preparation for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in 2020 held in Australia. Here's a little taster of what that tournament's all about. Well, there you have it. That's the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. What an exciting tournament that's looking like. And like I said, these I mean, you're based out in Australia right now, in Brisbane. I mean, they have a completely different culture to cricket out there.
They do, and they're building for this already. There's a lot of, I suppose, promotion going in behind the scenes, a lot of work going in behind already, and I can see that, and I'm not even Australian, so. But it's building to be, you know, the usual gigantic competition and gigantic World Cup, and these guys here have everything to play for. Like, if that doesn't get you out of bed in the morning, I don't know what does.
Well, as you saw, was just a shot of the Germany coach, Stephen Knox. He'll be excited to see what his side can do in this tournament. One side will progress to the global qualifier, so a lot at stake in this tournament. It's very high intensity cricket, and I mean, the opportunity to play in a global qualifier in the UAE is something that these teams will relish and something that the players will relish. A lot to prove. We're going to take a little break, and we're going to join you just before the action starts in a couple of minutes' time. Well, welcome back to coverage of this encounter, Guernsey cricket versus Germany, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Euro Finals here in Guernsey. This is live coverage. We'll be here all the way throughout the games. It's myself, Ian Leggett, Kieran Metcalf alongside us. Now we've done our introductions, but as we see these sides come in, not that we're to pick a side of who you think's going to win, but this is a German side that are going to come in with so much ambition after what they just watched.
Absolutely, they're fresh, and this is their first game of the day, so I think they're ready to hit the ground running.
Well, we're going to wait and see who's going to be opening the bowling here. But in terms of batsmen for Guernsey, with Ashley Wright once again, who went for a very low score at the start, and Matthew Stokes. But it's going to be Ashley Wright to face. Well, he's going to have a point to prove after the last performance, isn't he?
Absolutely, but he's very capable of doing it. We just need him to stick around a little bit longer and value his wicket.
Well, it's nice to know. Well, we just saw a little practice throw there, and I've never seen anything like that, Kira. Normally, you see the he's doing it again. It's not quite on camera there, but we see normally the bowler do a practice throw, but instead of releasing it fully to the fielder, he was flinging it in the air in quite an acrobatic fashion. The umpire gives the thumbs up here, all set for game 3 of this competition. This is Atullah, the former Afghanistan international, opening the bowling there for Germany.
That was a nice start, got a little bit of lift. This is the end that we were talking about earlier on that got a little bit of lift, and the far end was dying a little bit. So I suppose just this is the second game on this wicket today.
Well, there's Atullah. He's played in the 9 T20 internationals and picked up 10 wickets. So he's got bags of experience as well with ODIs and list A's first class under his belt. And already, just like the Jersey side, we're seeing lots of life, lots of ambition in this field. It's good to see.
So just for the field, I suppose, just in case you can't see it at home, they have a fine leg out. And I suppose the Jersey team earlier on started with their square leg out, but these guys have gone on, they've kept them in. But actually, that's probably where they saw the innings of Guernsey earlier on, and maybe they're taking that into this.
The pace of it all, in comes Atullah.
I really feel with Ashley Wright, he just needs to push around a couple of singles and get himself in. He's too valuable to go early, you know.
Well, they got the likes of Joshua Butler underneath him, but
Completely.
what a weird way of expressing that. Lower down in the order. What a beautiful bit of bowling there.
And Germany are up. They're loud.
Looking up for this. They've arrived and they've got one thing.
Can you speak German?
No. Can you?
I can. No.
You mentioned you can actually. This
No,
is Kira. You said you might have to
No.
wipe out your German.
No, definitely not. No.
Well, sprechen die Deutsch?
No.
Ja?
9.
9. Ah, well there we are. You do speak it. In comes Delatsai again. And it should have been a cries for catch there, but it's fell short. Just at the guy, square leg.
Great pressure, last ball of the over.
Now,
If I was the batter down the other end, I'd be coming down, talking to Ashley and just saying, keep him here with me. It's first over, yeah.
Nervy start from Ashley right last time, but he's looking far from comfortable. Delatsai's coming in with a lot of pace right now.
So change of field, they've moved deep square and they brought in a 45.
Your favourite fielding position?
It is.
There we are. We finally got names for the ends. We asked. The last side's asking bowling from the 4G end.
Or the other end.
At the other end, the KG5. And runs on the board there.
Good, much better.
Off to the mark, and that's a nice way to get a single, and that's actually right off the mark. He's going to be facing the next over where they finish over for 1-0. Well, that's a fantastic start from Germany.
Absolutely. Good movement. Lots of energy. Lots of talking German.
Lots of talking German. We will by the end of this tournament have you speaking one
Oh,
sentence.
no. You.
Not me. Well.
Okay, let's see who's coming from this end.
1-0, and we're just going to see it's actually right to face. This is Craig. Well, the crowds have stuck around here at the KG5, a lot in the old kind of bar tent, hospitality tent here. A few dotted around the grounds. Now this end, we refer to as the hotel end, I'm right in thinking. Or the dog walking end. As the bowler comes in. Strikes the pads. Well, there's a big appeal there from the on the German side, but the bowler was having none of it.
It's well bowled.
Bit of energy there. Strikes the pad early.
Again, I'd like to see more of a role being played by the non-striker, helping the batsman down the other end. You're out there together.
A big swing and a miss there as the ball just kind of flies over the stumps. Well, that is... He'll be licking his lips at that one. Oh, the bowler. Flicked hard, and it's just too short for the fielder to get that, but he does find the edge, and actually right moves on to 2. So there's another narrow escape there.
It is. From a German point of view, you'd be looking to put a lot of pressure on him now.
Maybe bring in third man a little bit if you're going to find the edge of that. He's got plenty of pace, this opening pairing does, if you compare it to the likes of Jersey, but we knew that. This German side is coming in here with bags of experience compared to some of the other sides, like Kira was saying in the run-up, plenty of the older players in the side. The bowler comes in again. And that's a better shot there. Stokes straight off the mark. Rolls for 4. What a wonderful cut there. 4 on the board straight away. And he'll be carrying confidence from the last game. He had a lovely knock himself. Was there with Josh Butler for a lot of that partnership. And was less high scoring, but it was stuck with him.
Yeah, nice shot to open his account. A little bit of weight transfer, and also I suppose in the first 6 they can only have 2 out, so it's a definite option. Wide ball. Just going back to the first game, Jersey stuck to their line of length and their game plan, and was very, very effective with that. So if Germany can, do the same, it's game on. Very, very dark here, isn't it?
It has. Kira's taken off the sunglasses for the first time. A bold decision. Oh, again, a little miss hit there, but he was looking. He was ambitious, wanting another. Oh, you see him practicing that shot there. He wanted a bit more on that, but again, he's getting beaten for pace a couple times here. Well, it's overcast conditions still here. It is very murky. We had blue skies and sunshine in this opening game. Big spell of 2 hours rain hit the island, and now it's back to overcast. And they've rolled a great single there as the fielder at mid-on just fumbles the ball there and doesn't quite pick it up fast enough to get the run-out opportunity. That was a better length there from the bowler, I thought.
Absolutely, and still, I suppose, with the wide, they still picked up 6 off the over. So, it may not look as if they're smashing the ball around, but they're definitely chipping away at the score.
take a look at the scorecard here. 8-0. And straight off the mark. Stokes for that wonderful cut shot for 4. Ashley Wright, a little nervy start here. 1-2.
That's another one of my sayings, chipping away.
Chipping away.
Chipping away.
I like that one.
Yeah.
It's nice. As we see, there's Atula Delatsai returning from the 4G end. The KG5. It's going to be leg buys there. They run a good single. Ashley Wright was keen to get off the mark. Ran it down. Well, one thing that Guernsey must learn probably from the game against Jersey was ticking for ones is probably not the best mentality in a tournament like this.
It's definitely effective in that case. But not leaving them behind is more important.
Again, strikes the pad. On the pad.
Ashley Wright is not enjoying this experience against this guy. He needs to have a think about his options. It's very important on a day like today that they're looking after the ball as well. The all famous white ball, but still.
And he's got a lot on that. And it's going to fly behind. Has it got enough on the boundary? Fielder's putting in a good effort here. Picks it up well. Flung in there. Well, he ran back to long leg.
It's actually in the first over. That's where they had that guy down at deep fine.
Well,
And they moved them around, so...
I don't want to be the weatherman here, but the rain is coming down a lot more aggressively than it was before. As we see some of the spectators move inside. Players look comfortable enough outside and the umpires have remained motionless. Oh, I think this could be a little stop-starter here, as the sunglasses go back on Kira's face.
It's kind of squinty.
Just driven straight to mid-on there.
But I think for Ashley Wright, that's a better option. Instead of pulling across the line or getting caught up, I think that's a much better option, and he should try that, and he will bring on runs then.
So you want to find the gaps ahead of him. Well, there is a straight big gaping hole on the on drive, and no one really marking the covers properly. The guy in at cover, but
They've taken out third man, and oh no, they haven't. They've brought over mid wicket. Good field placing.
well, that's wicket-keeper Daniel Weston on the bottom of your field there, number 7. Strikes the pad again, looks for leg buys but nothing there. The ball just kind of flicks down to the fielder. Somebody over here. Well, the rain is really coming down now. See just the bowling figures here so far. It's been a nice measured start from the bowlers. The rain is really coming down now. It does sound worse now that we're in a kind of tent pagoda thing. Some of the brollies are coming in. I don't think the Germans are going to be too happy about this. Gives us a tool out. He stretches far for that one, but Daniel Weston does very well to pick that ball off the wet ground.
Yes, covers. Oh, My bad, it's a free hit.
Oh, it's given a free hit again.
I wonder what the thought process is here with staying on.
Well, I think they might be trying to get to the end of the over here. The players are certainly in good spirits though. There's plenty of clapping going around the German side. Anyone that hasn't been to the KG5 ground will understand it's a big shot over the top.
Fantastic shot.
No, we're not seeing that from Ashley, right? What a way to end the over. A wonderful shot.
Fantastic shot. Just leaned back a little bit and helped it over.
Well, you got to ask where that's come from. After his early start to the Guernsey, to the Jersey game, and now kind of timid shots he's played at the start of this, but out of nowhere,
Well,
big
I
forward
suppose-
drive over the boundary.
Yeah, and that's what we touched on. He's too valuable to be, going out early. Pushing around singles, rotating the strike, getting some confidence up, and then that's what he can bring along.
Now Ashley Wright, brother of England international Luke Wright as well. So cricket really does run in the veins there.
Yeah.
Well, we wondered why they weren't going to come off, but it has stopped the heavy shower and it's now gone back to a light spit, so maybe the umpires were aware.
A change of bowling.
And a change of bowling. Well, we have Hamid Wadak coming in to bowl.
He's pushed out a deep square and he has cover out.
He does very well there. It's a play and miss there from the batsman.
This is the end that we were talking about earlier on about it staying slightly low. So again, I suppose these two boys would have spent long enough out there earlier on. They should know this, just to take that into consideration.
There is a slight slope at this ground. Ever so slightly leaning down towards that end.
So Hamid has brought in his cover and is now pushing his third man fine out. Oh,
Only slips.
man down.
And there's a big groan there from the Guernsey supporters. It's very slippery out there. I mean, the wicket itself, it's a bit grassy, so it's just asking. Well, he's got a smile on his face, which is the good news. Hopefully he hasn't picked up an injury. 90 for nothing in the fourth over here. Facing Stokes, facing Wadak. Oh, he's played the 40-20 internationals, has he? And a wonderful shot there. Cover drive for 4. Stokes already finding the boundary twice in this game. Just onto one knee. Is there a better shot in cricket?
Yeah.
And a nice cover drive.
Really, really nice. And also, I think with Ashley kind of coming into the game now and scoring as well, it relieves some of the pressure off the guy at the other end. Allows him to play his shots. I still maintain they need to keep communicating with each other and not go into their shells. Just keep on talking through it.
Well, just plays that off the hip. Picked up by the fielder there. Square. And just runs for a single. The score moves on. 24 for no loss. Wright and Stokes on 10 respectively. Wadak's still got 2 to bowl. Well, like I said, he's played the 4 T20 internationals and he's picked up 6 wickets.
Absolutely. Now, just with these guys batting the way they are at the moment is forcing Germany to have a look at their field each ball. So it's a little bit of a different game from the first game.
Oh, and it's going to be a catch. Oh,
That
almost
would've
a
been
wonderful
spectacular.
one-handed catch there at slip. God, he had it in his hand. He had it and he's dropped it. Well, not. I think it's unfair to say drop. It was almost he fell to one knee. He
Well,
almost looked surprised that he had it in his hand.
Absolutely, and he saved 4 runs. Win-win.
Oh, he shakes his hand in a little bit of frustration there. Is that a missed opportunity? Is that going to come back to haunt them? And a big shot there. That's going to go to the boundary again.
Last
Wonderful
ball of the
little
over.
pull shot for there for 4.
Last ball of the over, dispatched for 4. Like that word, dispatched?
All these commentary little
Oh, no.
keywords.
No.
You Booker, 2 games in, you're chucking them out. Well, that's the end of the over, and it's 28 for no loss there. Let me just have a look at the scorecard here.
Much better from Ashley and Matthew. They're kind of went through the ugly cricket stage and kind of, just keep going, working away, and it's been rewarding now.
Well, like you mentioned, it is a very different game to what we saw first off. The Guernsey batsmen are testing this German fielding side a bit more. There's a lot at stake for these games. It's high pressure cricket. They only have 8 games to play. They each get to play. Well, there's only 8 games in. Pardon me. Each side has to play one side each. So, and they have this as the Guernsey double header today. After this, they're only going to have 3 more games. So it's vital they pick up a win here. See what they can do as that ball's just prodded forward and collected at short.
I think Guernsey are more focused as well on maybe capitalising on the power play with limited fielders out.
I look for a single. That's something that could have been a run-out opportunity there. Another little misfield right next to mid-on. And it is very slippery out there after a shower like that. You can only imagine that the ball is pretty wet to pick up. Throws that forward a minute off. Run out opportunity again. Just misses the stumps. Well, they are going for these risky ones.
Yeah, they
And
have
this
to.
is-
They
yeah.
have to, and it's paying off. Again, if there's good communication and they really commit to the actual running, that it should be okay.
Well, it's 29 for no loss now on the 5th over. The weather's cleared up again. It's got a lot brighter. We've got a little gap of blue sky up above us again.
Sunglasses back on.
Sunglasses are back on. Fortunately not for me. Oh, he's driven that, and it's just gone over the fielder's head. It's running towards the boundary. And the crowd, cheers from the crowd as the roller, as the fielder tries to collect the ball there. Oh, it's good to see that the fans getting involved in the game. Good to see Ashley Wright going for the over the head shots.
He turned blind. If I'm being a little bit coachy on him, he
Go
turned.
ahead, be coachy. Slow ball there, he's gone slap. That's someone underneath that probably. And now he's just evaded the fielders once again. Ball's collected at straight. Ashley Wright's on 18. He's looking like a different batsman from what we saw in the Jersey game. And that's much better bit of bowling there from Craig Mashed. Well, that's the end of the over here.
Trying to dry the ball up.
Oh, the 1-4 and the 1-6.
Hamid Wardak is going to continue bowling, left arm.
Just pros that gently. deep square leg. Guy on a deep point as well. So that ball's just pulled on. There we go, square leg, puts it back in. Well, I think they're looking for these guys to go aerial again. I think they've got a sight of Ashley Wright looking to go big. They might be looking for the catch here.
Well, what's actually interesting is Germany were well on top of Ashley Wright a couple of overs ago. He played 1 or 2 shots and then Germany have gone back into the shells. So it's.
Well, that's just driven straight there to mid-off. It's one thing we did talk about. I'm sure we're going to talk about it all week, just the nature of this kind of competition. But momentum is such a crucial thing in cricket and in a competition like this. And all of a sudden, we've seen this German side. They got hit for a couple boundaries, and like you said, they got on their shell, but there's no noise on the field anymore. He bowls the fuller length there, and that one's just put on there to short mid wicket. What is it about getting hit for a boundary and then suddenly you lose all the energy on the pitch?
Yeah, your mindset, and you've got to adjust to the conditions as well. And in T20, you've got to actually practice of being hit for 4s as well. You've got to get your head around it and what works then. How do I recover from this?
As Wadak steps in again. Pulls a bit more of a fuller ball now. The fuller ball is working as that one's collected at short mid wicket again.
So they're not allowing Ashley here to free up his hands at all. Last ball of the power play. I think Hamid Wardak has done very well here, actually.
Slowed it right down. Again, now that's hit very well. Driven straight through the covers. Underneath the covers now. What a fantastic shot there from Ashley Wright.
I can't see Germany be too upset with that 5 off the over. You'd take that.
Well, in a power play like that, he bowled another one at the fuller length. For that time, Ashley Wright just didn't try to play with her wrist. He just played with his arm, a bit more power. Showed what the big guy's capable of. He moves on to 22 of his 24 balls faced.
38 off 6. Would you take that?
If I was Guernsey after the first game, I would take this very much. Looking at a more prominent 115 probably. No, I mean, that's too low, too low. For me, the biggest shift is the change in attitude, this change in dynamic that we're seeing between the batsmen. Like you said, a lot of communication, a lot of conversation happening between them, most importantly.
Really nice shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look out from here.
It's nearly like a trademark shot for all of the Guernsey players. They like that mid-wicket area, in line with the stumps.
Absolutely.
They seem to score a lot of runs through there.
You know, it's that kind of old training technique, learning how to drive straight off the mark,
Yeah,
and getting your forward drive, playing. You know, when you used to hit the ball off the cone at when you were younger. That's a great bit of bowling there, but they've gone for the single as the ball's just clipped just a short mid-wicket, and they've grabbed a good single. That's good eye there from Ashley Wright. He was keen to get off the mark. Well, they're moving up 41 for no loss. This is much better from the Guernsey batsmen, both Stokes and Wright. Look keen to score runs and show a bit more intent.
39 balls got a 120. You've got to start looking at it that way as well, you know. Oh,
And that
good.
one's just played. Wow, that's just clipped the third man there. He got a bit lucky, and no one was hanging behind him. Rolled straight to third man. Well, a bit more support coming there from the German fielders. Like we said, the temperament has calmed down a bit more as Mached comes in again. Ball's a full of length, but it's driven straight to mid-on. Collected well. Score moves on to 43 for no loss. 1 to come in the over. And all of a sudden, what's this Guernsey side looking at now?
Absolutely, and 5 off the over so far. I'm liking seeing Ashley Wright just play the ball in front of him, just singles, you know.
I mean, big swing and a miss there. Not saying I was commentator's curse or anything here, but well, he just missed time.
I just
that
think
one.
it's a better option for him.
That's the end of the over there as we see the side. Let's just have a look at the points table after the first 2 games. Norway played Italy, and like we see Guernsey at the top there. After their victory against Guernsey in Italy, it was a rain-affected game. It ends up being abandoned, but they had enough on the DLS rate to get the victory. So it just shows that Guernsey, they need to stay in touch here because they have the double header, and suddenly 3 games left, and then, you know, arguably the tournament could be over.
I think for them as a team as well, they want to get the most out of this. This, you know, this is not the only tournament they'll ever play, so it's an ongoing thing. It's a pathway. They need to continue building for maybe the next team that's to come through after these guys.
Now, I want to be the deliverer of good news, but as we see, the sun is beating down on the ground once again as we see Yar Ashraf come in to bowl his first appearances. Driven straight, it's a straight hit, straight for 4.
Nice shot.
Wonderful straight drive there from Stokes. Moves on to 27.
So straight away, Germany have pushed out their older fielders. We've won it deep square, cow corner, mid-on, mid-off, and cover. But a great shot from Ashley Wright. He went between mid-on and mid-off. Germany need to be careful with their lines here.
You can see the captain there on the screen, just giving the ball a bit of a clean. So, Afghanistan Vetrica man. As Ashraf comes in again. And he's gone straight down the ground again. There's a man at long off. And collected well. A little groan from the crowd there, almost expecting a boundary now.
I'd say the rain interval. Just 1 or 2 sherries have kicked in.
Absolutely. Pardon me, I said Stokes hit that 4 before. It was actually Ashley Wright. He moves on to 28. It's my error. It's Ashraf again. Oh, and that's just lovely little... Uses his wrist there and just flicks that behind. It's a wonderful shot, just a deep fine leg. Collected, grabs a single.
So Matthew Stokes at the moment can just play the supporting role, keeping the strike rotated.
Very similar role to what he played with the Joshua Butler innings as well.
But he has the other level if he needs to go up there as well.
Oh, it's a big appeal, and he's giving him out.
Commentator's curse.
Well, it looks like as if he was caught behind there. Big appeal straight away from the wicket-keeper, and the umpire's finger had no hesitation going up there. Stokes makes the long walk back to the pavilion. 18 off 18. It was a good knock once again.
Absolutely.
Played the supporting role to Ashley Wright. It's going to be with a 51 for 1 in this Men's T20 World Cup Europe final.
I think if they regrouped after the last game and they kind of said that if this had been the score, projected score, they would be happy with this. So I think it's okay actually.
Well, the next man in is the half-century maker and captain Joshua Butler for Guernsey, coming in at 3. Well, it'd be nice if he could do another performance like he did. It was a captain's knock. It was a captain's innings from Butler.
And it actually wasn't too strenuous. He just played the ball, you know, what was in front of him. Clever knock, actually.
Well, if we compare that to the knock we saw from Jersey's Bisson, it was a very different half-century either way.
Yes.
Well, let's see what the Guernsey captain can put on display here at KG5 once again. This calls for quiet around the ground. Oh, that's driven straight. What a nice way to get off the mark with a lovely drive to the covers.
Really nice,
well.
and that just instilled confidence straight away.
It's actually right.
Well bowled.
Near perfect technique there.
Yeah.
Near perfect technique. Well, that's the end of the over. Well, Ashraf came on and he got a wicket. How many times have we seen that? A new bowler comes in, a change of bowling, and suddenly they grab that wicket within their first over.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I was surprised earlier on that with Guernsey, they have actually a few left-arm bowlers. They didn't use them. I just thought they would have mixed it up a little bit more, especially in T20. One over little spells can sometimes be very, very effective.
Wow. A few runs conceded in a couple of these overs, with Mashed going for 17 from his 3 overs and Wadak 2 overs going for 14. Well, Guernsey are doing the one thing that they're going to be wanting to see, and we said this a lot, keeping the scoreboard ticking over in this T20 format.
Yeah, and they're keeping wickets in hand at the moment. And Ashley Wright, he's very effective.
Ashley Wright.
Bringing in their third man at the moment. Square, cow, long on, long off, and a cover going out. Pretty standard, really.
Well, this is Asad Mohammed making his first appearance, bowling from the 4G end. Played off the wrist there, and just going to be collected a square leg. Just another single onto the Guernsey scoreboard. 53 for nothing. Butler collects his second single. Puts Ashley Wright on strike. Just looking at Ashley Wright.
Yeah.
Made an appearance. Actually had a list A appearance in 1999. Pardon me. Yeah, made his list A debut in 1999. And that's a wonderful little drive there. Again, through the covers. Played very nicely. Calls for 2, but they've gone for just a single there. Josh Butler wanting to almost calm Ashley Wright down there. Played very nicely again, just off the wrist. Puts that forward onto the onside and collects another single. I think Josh Butler could do that all day long.
Absolutely. These two batters seem to be communicating much better. They're helping each other through the whole thing.
Well, the momentum seems to be picking up. Once a wicket's been given in hand now, some of the German side have picked up their energy a bit more. They did come out all guns blazing. A bit more upbeat, a bit more calls from the boundary. And that one's gone high in the air. I don't think there's a fielder there, but has the fielder running on the onside. It's too short. Just one bounce and collects it there. He gets the applause and the recognition from his wicketkeeper Daniel Weston there for it was a good effort. Ambition to go in the air there by Joshua Butler. It's the end of the over from Mohammed. Wow, you can see the Guernsey fans there in full force. And it's a nice day for it. Apart from that rain shower we just had, it's been a nice day just to have a little bit of a picnic in the sun.
It has. It's a lovely ground. There's lots of people around too.
There we are. Here comes Ashraf. He's gone very big. We think this has gone for 6. Straight over. Straight over the onside. And another big shot there.
You cannot bowl to Ashley Wright there.
Absolutely right. He struck that so cleanly. And a beautiful shot for 6. Second of the day. He's looking in fantastic nick.
That is his scoring area.
He moves on to 36 now as the score 62 for 1. And he's gone big again, but this time there's a fielder there. And it's collected very well on the run. Brought in, just stops the single. That's a good bit of fielding there from the German side. Stopping what was looking like it was going to be a one-bounce boundary. Yeah, they got a guy
This
there.
ground is drying so fast, actually, isn't it? The ball is kicking on again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We got told this in the run-up.
Yeah.
This ball there. He's gone big again.
That's a beautiful
That's
shot.
a beautiful shot. That's one of the shots of the day there. Josh Butler hits a beautiful cover drive. A wonderful shot for 4 once again. He must have so much confidence after his last knock. I think they got a bit of a pep talk in between the games.
I'd imagine so.
Could be an expensive over for Ashraf. Driven down. Bowler's chasing after it. He lands up at mid-on. Just a single, so it's good effort there by the bowler. Collects it as Ashley Wright's now on strike. Now, we're in this kind of mode of the zone where I think they're going to be attacking every ball at this current rate.
There's already 12 off the over, so Ashley Wright just needs to play some clever cricket here.
He's gone very large again. I think this is another 6. It is. Another 6. This time, deep forward mid-wicket, over the boundary.
Fantastic shot.
That one was straight into the hospitality tent. He moves on to 43. 74 for 1 now, Guernsey. This is a different game of cricket to what we saw against Jersey.
Absolutely. I'd say the bowler is going, take me off.
He's gone large again. There's a fielder there. Caught. Caught at deep mid-wicket. And that spells the end of Ashley Wright. Well, he's gone for 43, but it was a very, very, very impressive knock.
Absolutely, and he's built 2 small mini partnerships there, and it was very effective. So I think they'd be quite happy with that.
Wow, Ashley Wright is making that long walk back.
It's also what he sends back to the boys in the, in the team, that they come out with a bit more confidence. He passes that down.
You've been in these situations, Kira. You've played international cricket. What is it like when someone comes back? He might be disappointed in himself. Maybe he wanted that half century, but the team would just be giving him the biggest round of applause.
Oh, absolutely. And I think then the next guy coming out is dying to get out there. You're itching to bat. But again, we have Josh Butler, should I say, out here, who will take the lead command here now for the next while and allow this batter to get in, and then we'll go from there. I think this actually might be David Hooper, if I'm not wrong.
I think so. I think this team sheet that we've put on is the right order here, but we'll just confirm that as the batsman looks to confirm his crease.
Yes, it is.
This is David Hooper.
Yeah.
Interface here. Well, that was a final ball of the over wicket there, so that a little more confidence to Ashraf after being slogged around for a fair amount of runs. 74 for 2. In good conditions at the 10th over. Oh, just mishit there as that skips behind him.
Two fresh guys here. They should be able to pick up singles, turn ones into twos.
That one just picked up well there. A short third man.
Yeah, they've actually moved in a few as well, just squeezing on the new batter. I like seeing this. More communication between batters needs to happen.
Bit of talking between the wicket.
No, well, absolutely. I think a lot of people grow up playing cricket thinking they have to be quiet. You can chat to the other batter.
Absolutely. Well, that's a bit better from there from Mohammed. Keen to see a few more dot balls in this game. I know what you mean though. I was always a bit chirpy when I was batting. I think sometimes I used to annoy my other opposite man. Like, you're right, you're right. Standing wide of his crease. That's a good bit of batting there. Good single. And Hooper's off the mark, pardon me. I think you're exactly right. They'll be playing singles, trying to convert their ones into twos here.
Yeah, and Butler might want to try get the strike now. So if he gets a single here and gets back on strike for the next over.
Absolutely. Well,
the field straight away moves out a little bit deeper for Butler.
Well, he sees a gap in front of him on the onside and just runs a nice little single there. He'll be playing them shots all day, and that's how he got to his 50 last time.
Yeah, I actually think Germany made a mistake there. They should have squeezed in a little bit on him, but anyway.
Well, they've stayed deep for Hooper. Thinking he might want to go big. Deep square leg. Deep mid wicket as well. And a long off. And there we are, picked up by the bowler, as always. As Kira nods in appreciation, I'm sure by the end of this tournament I'm going to understand that the...
What was my saying?
I think it's the fielder's the first, the bowler is the first point?
For spin, yes.
First
fielder.
First fielding by the spin bowlers. If any spin bowlers are listening, I'm sure there are a few. They'll be cheering in appreciation. Wow, blue skies right now. It's nice to see that. Weather has cleared up nicely. Well, this is the captain. Well, the captain's put himself on the bowl. This is Venkatraman Ganesan. And that's swept. Finds the fielder. I'm going to fielder there at deep mid wicket, so that didn't quite reach the boundary, but it was a lovely shot.
He did, he got it on the full, yeah. Nearly took the umpire's head off.
Oh, played and missed. The captain, 34 years old. He's taken one wicket in his T20.
I'm not sure if I actually agree with the batting order right now.
Astro's just prodded forward there for not ball.
Yeah, I think Josh Butler's has to get on strike as much as he can here.
And that's Nick, but no one was behind him, so that's going to roll away. Is it got enough legs to reach the boundary? There's a field of big chase on there to the boundary. Reaches it and brings that one back in. Well, they wanted another there, but They ran the 2. They got lucky.
Yeah, slight release there and pressure. 3 off the over so far. 2 to go.
Driven nicely.
Nice push.
Again. Pushes that one through the covers. And just runs a single again. So again, Guernsey very happy to go for the singles. What do you do in this situation? The captain's put himself in the bowl. Is it just to add a bit more pressure?
It could be, but also Josh Butler was thinking, I have to get back on strike for the other end.
And they've grabbed him. It's a stumping. Advanced down the wicket, and I think he was calling for that, was the captain, Ghanasan. And he's just played into his hands as Josh Butler, and he departs for 10 off 8. That's a big wicket.
It absolutely is. And I think actually, and I'm just going to say it, I could be wrong, but I think the batting order that Guernsey have come up with, just with Hooper coming in, has actually put a bit more pressure on Butler. It took away from his natural game, and he had to get up and, face balls, and I don't know whether they got that right there.
Well, it's now 80 for 3. The new batsman comes in. You can see the German side nodding heads, a little more confidence. Well, suddenly
8
80
overs to go though. It's still a long way.
Still a long way to go. And if we compare this to the last game, we saw a Guernsey side that, once struggling to reach 110.
Yeah.
But now we see a side comprehensively aiming for about 120, 130 at this current run rate. But Josh Butler, he's a big loss. He's a very big loss.
Still 5 fielders out. Dot ball off the first ball.
That ball's driven straight.
Good running.
And they've just run back for 2 as Lucas Barker, pardon us, is the new batsman in the crease here for Guernsey. Hooper hits a nice 2 there, driven straight down the onside. And that one's just mishit on the toe of the bat there, collected. That made off.
Momentum definitely shift again back towards Germany. Guernsey have got to play some ugly cricket and just get some singles.
Gives him a bit more of the fuller ball there. Scooped up at mid-off. Again, a little more fumble, but it's good they are stopping these 2s from happening. Just maybe risking the 1-out opportunities while they're doing that. If anyone's tuning in, this is the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Finals. This is the 3rd game to take place today. Another game is also taking place at College Field. It's a lovely shot. But a big cry from Noah there from Barker. Yeah, Norway's taking on Denmark, a wee Scandinavian derby. My colleague Andrew Leonard's on commentary duties for that. You can also catch the stream for that online on the Facebook pages and also the ICC YouTube. A lot at stake for these sides. It's a big competition. One side goes through. Whoever wins this reaches the global qualifiers.
I'd like to see the Guernsey local supporters get behind their guys.
Oh, yeah, do you not believe they are?
Yes, I do. I just would like to hear them.
Well, it's driven Again, a nice little straight hit there, collected at deep mid off. Picks up another couple runs.
Good running. I think if 4 balls all the time is not going to be their option, they've definitely got to put it in with the running.
And he's gone big again. That's a straight drive. It's going to be collected at long off this time.
Much better from Hooper.
Maybe 6 for 3 now. Barker to face only a second ball. So he takes his mark. And Barker. He's opened a few times. Nah, there's a big shout and it's out.
Oh, unlucky.
That is a tough wicket to take. Hooper departs for 10 off 16. Stumped. He was advancing down the crease. He wanted a single, but that's just the luck of it. Suddenly you get these shots when it just collected by the bowler straight off, and he can just have the initiative. As Ghanasan did there, just to strike the wickets. That's another tough blow.
It is, and good awareness by the bowler, but I suppose he did have a second or two just to kind of adjust himself. We actually started to see Hooper play some shots there, so it's a bit disappointing, but
We're gonna get.
there's still wickets in hand.
We're gonna get a look now at the low end of this Guernsey line at the middle order now. We didn't really get a massive look at it during the Jersey game. I'm sure in a competition of this length, teams get tested. So this is Lee for Brash coming in. Well, he immediately went for the reverse sweep there. And that's an ambitious shot. And he gives him a full toss there, but it was almost a gift. As they just take a single. Straight drive there to deep mid off. That was almost a pie to throw someone at this level of cricket. Just wait for our scoreboard to update.
Run rate up at 6.
That's just played gently. Just a short leg. Well, they've survived the end of the over there as they have a little conference in the middle. Well, what's the dynamic of the game now? 6 overs left.
It's it's back and forth, isn't it?
It is very well.
Yeah.
This is T20 cricket. That's why we love it.
Yeah.
Who do you think has the upper hand currently?
I think slightly Germany, but again, I'm going to go back to, I just think maybe the batting order at one stage there for Guernsey was not right, and I could be wrong, but just from what I can see.
Well, Asad Muhammad is coming in again from the 4G end.
Well bowled.
Hits that well, just uses his wrist there. It's collected square. Picks up another single. Smart running there from the Guernsey batsman. Well, they're going to be looking to gain a little bit of momentum here. Do you play for singles or do you go for boundaries?
You definitely have to keep the singles ticking.
The sad comes in again. Again, plays that nicely onto the onside. They look for two, but there's a hesitation and it could have been a run out. Well, if the fielding side have done well there. It's 27's warming up. That's still Venture Command. Pardon me. It's Craig Mached. He might have another bowl again. And he bowls a shorter ball there, and the batsman gets a hold of that. Picked up there at deep point. Comes round to collect it. Well, I'm just going to wait for the scoreboard to update. So apologies about that. As a straight drive down there, collected at deep mid on. And they run two. That's good running there from the Guernsey batsman as they get two, and that's received well from the fans here at KGV.
That's what's needed at this time, and I think it's good communication from the batters, and they really committed to it. And it's there if they really want to do more.
Absolutely. Well, that's the end of the over. I can confirm the score is 95 for 4 after 15 overs. Apologies for our scoreboard here.
I heard the last 5 overs in a T20 game once described as party time. Once you have wickets in hand, it's tee off time.
Well, they have a couple of wickets in hand. Are we going to see some shots come in?
And they've actually got themselves into a good position where they're able to do this.
And what a wonderful little flick off the wrist there. That's gone out to deep square leg. Picked up nicely. And just stops that single. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant bit of fielding there.
Well watched. Sometimes when it goes to backward a point or square leg, they can actually spin away from you, so it's well watched by the fielder.
Well, 96 for 4 now, pardon me. In the 16th over. There's a big fielding change there. He's got right in front of us. You see the fielders dancing over the wickets. They've just had a complete flip of dynamic here. This one's gone into wide log on, and he's played that again. Nice lift his wrist, collected at leg gully, swiftly in. I think we're going to see some very quick running here from the Guernsey players, Kira.
Yeah. No better two men there. Really good. It's if there's any youngsters watching as well, it's nice to see.
For brash facing and a big swing and a miss. Well, Mached, great bit of bowling there.
Run rate up at 6.27. Bowler brings in mid-off and drops out cow.
And in comes that fielder, just puts it onto the onside there, but it's collected. And I go at cow corner. Again.
Third man dropping out. Covers up. Sorry, my bad. Covers out, and we've a long on.
Oh, and that's a little prod there from
Well
the
bowled.
batsman.
Well bowled.
Like I said, lots of changes going on in the fielding this over. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of this. Just really making the batsmen think, keeping them on their toes. As that power play's over, it's free rein. Shep Cousins again. Big tall bowler here. Bowls the shorter ball. Batsman gets a little bit of a hold of it on the hook shot there as it run for 4. Oh, the bowler, the fielder tried his hardest there to get to that, but that's another 4 runs there. It's a good looking shot there from Barker. The shorter delivery. Is Guernsey move on to their 100? So it's 102 for 4 now. The end of the 16th over.
Bowler's disappointed. That changes the figures completely.
Well, if we look at this, look at the score. A fantastic start from Ashley Wright, that 43 or 36. Stokes as well. Nice partnership at the start. But Joshua Butler, the half-century maker in the last game, just out for 10. David Hooper again, 10. But now we're seeing Lucas Barker and Lee Fabrash see what they can do to try and possibly, with 4 overs left, get Guernsey into a 125, 130 position here.
Absolutely.
Very convincing scores. If you look at Germany's last results, they played Italy in the run-up to this tournament. Netherlands. Italy beat both games, including Germany all out for 53 in the first T20.
They've 24 balls here to put on as many as they can.
But they are capable of hitting 130. They did in the second T20. Caught!
Oh, fantastic catch.
What a wonderful take there. Caught behind the wicket caught behind the wickets. That's Daniel Weston taking a fantastic catch. Came at him and pace, dove to his right. And just managed to keep hold of that. It came with such force.
Yeah, he looked at his hand as if, have I got this? Fantastic.
Well, they're in a huddle there. And they'll be happy. That's Barker removed for 12.
Wicket ball, dot ball, they'll be very happy with that.
Pardon me, that's not Barker moved. That was Lee Fabrash. That's my mistake there. As Barker tapes just a little Walker break. As he comes back in. It looks like it's Luke Letizier coming into bat. The next one in for Guernsey. Well, they seem to be striking exactly when needed. A bit of momentum coming into the Guernsey side, and Germany bag another wicket. So here you see Letizier coming in. It was a fantastic take by the keeper there. Strong dive to his right. I think even his teammates were a little surprised he managed to grab hold of
He
that.
was certainly travelling at speed. Maybe a hole in his glove.
Well, that's a couple of good takes we've seen so far. Fantastic take in the Jersey game by the Jersey keeper. Big dive to his left. Iker Casillas-esque. And now the German sides are encouraging the bowler to get another. And to face that on your first delivery. We were saying it's normally been pitching up on this side, but that one kept low.
It did. Bowler's also protecting the ball that he's bowling. He's not showing anything until he's actually going to release.
Beg your pardon. Luke Letizier, not Luke Letizier. This is Thomas Kimber. As he puts that one forwards onto the onside and grabs his first runs. Kimber gets off the mark. 103 for 5 now. Beg your pardon. surely got to be building towards 120 here. Oh, Daniel Weston does very well to keep a hold of that. Delight to his teammates there. That ball came again at pace, skipping along the ground. Picks it up on his left-hand side. He's done very well to save a run there. That one again finds a bit of bat, edges past, and I think that's going to run to the boundary. And that's 4 runs there. 4 runs to Barker. He's going to move on to 16. Got a bit lucky there, Kira.
He's just pushed out his long off.
And a bit more of the full ball there. Puts it onto the onside, uses his wrist a little more and grabs a single. It's clever batting there from Barker.
That's a very good over in the 17th. Good bowling, should I say, in the 17th over.
Here are the bowling figures from the day. Ashraf picking up 2. From his 2 overs, what an impact he made when he came on. Ganisan and Dalatsai picking up wickets respectively. Look at them economy regs, they're not that bad.
Guernsey really want to push to 130 here if they can.
Well, we haven't talked about it yet, but one thing that really let down Guernsey was their bowling and fielding effort. The bowler comes in again. Struck well, straight hit. Picked up with a man at long off and collected well. Just again, keeps the single going. And again, gets a warm reception from the bowler there. But yeah, it was... trying to think of a word to maybe describe it, but in some cases lackadaisical in comparison to the Jersey effort.
Yeah. And Jersey were nearly the extreme then because they were fantastic.
As the batsman falls to his feet there, but manages to grab a single. That's a tremendous effort.
That's good work by the batter.
Kimber falls over and Barker was having none of it. Wanted strike. He called for a single. Just checking if he's alright there.
Again, that's well bowled.
Well, the way they've bowled in these final 2 overs, well, these final collection of final 4 overs has been very impressive. Gives them a bit more of the full toss there. That's gone in the air. Is it going to be caught? It's very well taken there. The man ran in from long off and collects it well. Hands above his head, brings it in. And that brings the end of Barker, 18 off 14. And now 110 for 6 all of a sudden. Where's this game poised at now, Kira?
Well, Kimber is restocking on some water. I think they've really got to make these balls count. Like they can still get up near 130.
They've got to have that intent.
Oh, absolutely. They have to take learn something from the first game they played. and really, really go for it.
Given the full toss, puts it onto the onside. Fielder comes in from square leg and collects it well. That's a good bit of fielding there from the Germans. Just grabs another single, restricting the boundary. Good work there. Well, now Letizier's in. Prods that one onto the onside again. Uses his wrist well. Guy comes in from deep square leg.
Oh,
And one of Letizier's fell on the run in. Little slip.
it's good work again from saying off the rope, restricting them to a single each ball. So
this is exactly what you're going to need in the final
absolutely
2 overs in the game. So that comes in again. Tries the scoop shot, then the wicketkeeper takes it. Was that the best decision there from Kimber? They lose another one. He departs for 2. 112 for 7 now. Was that a sensible decision?
I might have played it in front of square or in front, but $17.5.
Well, that's the end of the 18th over. Grabs another wicket on the final. That's two wickets in that over for Wodak. Well, the game, Germany will be very happy with how they've ended this innings, picking up some quick wickets and restricting this Guernsey side to singles after an absolute flying start from Ashley Wright. But all of a sudden, it was looking potentially like we could have had a 130 score on, or possibly 140, but now we're looking at trying to maybe reach 130.
Yeah, maybe I'm being a little bit adventurous with that.
Well, this is
Anthony Stokes.
Anthony Stokes, the other Stokes. Brother Matthew Stokes was in. That beats the batsman well. Letizia had nothing on that. That's a good bit of bowling from the 4G end. This is Atula Delatsai again. He picked up a wicket.
Yeah, he's been very effective throughout this innings, actually.
Well, the pace he carries in comparison to the other bowlers.
Yeah.
Showing his experience, the former Afghanistan international as well. And that's really well played there. That's the cut shot on that. Just grabs another single though. This is the thing, they're not going to the boundaries. They're not picking up them 2s, 3s and 4s that we need. We need, Guernsey need. As Anthony Stokes looks to be facing up for the first time. Oh, big confusion in the end, and he's out. They've grabbed another one. Well, it was confusion in the middle there. They wanted to run, they didn't want to run. And all of a sudden now Letizia departs. Anthony Stokes is the man that got away with that, even though Stokes was the one at that end.
Yeah, great work by the keeper. He forced the error.
That was a bit confusing. Letizia went for the run there. I think Anthony Stokes looked back, saw that Daniel Weston had stopped the ball and thought there was no run there, but by that time, look, Letizia was at that end, and suddenly he was the one departing his way back to the pavilion. 113 for 8 now all of a sudden. Well, we just look at this, like I said, that incredible start from Ashley Wright here. Matthew Stokes partnering well, Joshua Butler, Hooper both scoring 10. Lucas Barker had a little appearance, but after that it's been quick wickets and just singles for the middle to lower order of this Guernsey lineup. Germany will be very happy with how they've performed in the latter stages of this innings.
This guy's been fantastic. The experience he brings, he's just mixing it up. The batters haven't had an answer for him. His pace, his variation, and then his field, obviously. Eight balls to come. They need to make them count, Guernsey.
He gives him a shorter ball and he almost plays that onto his bat. It almost looked like he top edged that to the wicketkeeper there. Again, turn of pace, just turns it up another notch.
Totally. I think he's seen the batter taking a little step. This guy seems to be too clever.
This is Thomas Villiard in for Guernsey. There's one to come in this over, then we've got one over left. And he gives him a bit more on the four. They're clever to run a single there. And that's just a little nice touch to end the over on. As we take a look at the bowling here. Kira, what are you seeing here?
Well, that was a fantastic spell there. Then he went for 19 off his 4, 1 wicket. Conwy rate 4.75, fantastic, especially in T20.
If we look at the fall to wickets here, you can see the 6, 7 and 8, they've gone 110, 112 and 113.
Yeah.
Compared to what they were at the start, 51 and 74 respectively. They're doing well for themselves. Jersey has gone in. Gives him a bit more of the full toss. Stop well, but I feel that they've gone for a single there. It's good running by the Guernsey batsman. And I think he raises his hand now. He realises he may have intruded a little bit. Now Wadak. Oh, the final over here for Germany. Can I get 120 on the board? Good shot, and it's straight into the hands though. It's the right idea. Straight into the hands. They got it mid-off. And another one departs, now 115 for 9 all of a sudden. Well, Kira, what situation are they in now? All of a sudden this game has a very different dynamic about it. Looking like they could possibly hit 130, but it could be 115 all out all of a sudden.
I think
they
you
bowled
were
well.
right though, saying 120 earlier on.
Yeah, well, that's the final batsman for Guernsey. Strolls in. And it's William Peatfield taking his mark. In comes Wadak. Strikes it well. On the offside, onside, pardon me. And just grabs a single. That's exactly what they need. That is the appreciation for the German side there, Kira. They know that's vital. Worth their weight in gold.
Germany have really stuck to their game plan and they just want to finish this out as strongly as they can and
Struck well straight down the ground, but it's going to be collected by the man at long off. And again, just picks up another single. They move on to 117 for 9 now. Moving up 120 total.
The bowling in the last 4 overs has been really, really good.
And he's bowled him, and that's it. Clean bowled. William Peatfield goes for one. Well, all out for 117 here. What a fantastic bowling performance at the end.
Absolutely, and I think, in fairness, Guernsey started off with good intent. They had some good runs up front, but just in the middle, they just got a little bit lost. That was backed up though with some really, really good bowling from the German team.
Absolutely, we just see the scorecard here for the Guernsey batsman. Ashley Wright with an absolute flying start. Matthew Stokes supporting him there. A little appearance from the half century and Joshua Butler in the last game, but it was only 10.
Yeah. That could have been a little bit of a turning point there, but in fairness, the bowlers backed them up, and they were really fantastic.
As we just take a look at the bowling performance here from the German side, talk us through this, Kira.
I think the opening bowler, the opening bowler was definitely the main of the bowlers. His experience and his variations, he just bamboozled the batters, so he just led from the front.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here. Well, they got 117 all out here in 19.5 overs. Well, 118 to get the victory. Well, good afternoon and welcome back to coverage of this Guernsey versus Germany game in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Finals. It's the third match being played today. And Guernsey have set Germany 118 to win. Kira, what are we thinking after watching the performance against Jersey? How can Guernsey go about this?
I think mixing up their bowling order is definitely going to play a part here. And also, I suppose, just sticking to their line, sticking to their game plan and how they want to approach knocking over Germany. Already a change, a spinner opening up. Keepers up.
Well, Anthony Stokes is going to be opening the bowling here for Guernsey. Opens up, and it's a very strong start there from the German batsman. Straight for 4. Wonderful cut shot there. And this is exactly the same as it happened against Jersey. Ambition right from the off and the chase. And straight on, moving on to 4 for no loss. Not the morale booster that Stokes needed. Just plays that there. That one's gone airborne again. It looks like it's going to reach the boundary, but it's just caught there. Dropped in the boundary. That mid on.
Germany have opened up a left-hand, right-hand combo.
This is Mazart playing one just off his hips there and grabs a single off his first ball. Straight back into the keeper. Or is it going to be a case of they're going to be looking to charge for this 118 straight off the mark? After watching the way that Guernsey fielded, they're going to be a little tighter than they were. Straight back to the bowler there. Oh, that's better from Stokes. It's a nice way to finish up the over.
William Peatfield opening from the other end. The ball seemed to follow him in the first game.
An absolute magnet anywhere he went. Well, Daniel Weston, wicket-keeper batsman. He's played these 4 T20 Is, including the 2 losses against Italy in the run-up to this, and a loss against Guernsey. High score of 18, and 23 runs to his name.
So Peatfield is starting with a third man and a deep square.
He's played that off in the hip. It's gone airborne. That's just going to be picked up at deep backward square leg as he slides. Looks like the surface has dried up well since we had that show early on, Kira, but still is a couple slippy patches out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just Guernsey have got to get tighter lines and put it to Germany and see what happens then. Germany have come out and they've shown their intent straight away. They want to hit the ball.
Well, this is the left-hander of Weston. Oh, it's enough. Just an opportunity. Grab the edge. Just put down there by the keeper. It was a very difficult opportunity, though. Good effort to stop it there by Kimber. We've seen a couple of great athletic efforts so far at this ground so far today.
We have 3 fantastic catches.
Peatfield looks a bit...
That's actually the end we've highlighted a few times, that the ball seems to be dying.
Finding the edge early on, Peatfield. That one's just driven straight past and collected mid-off. Stop that single.
Yeah, good movement in the field. They seem more up and about than they were in the first innings against Jersey.
Well, it's the same way they went about their innings. Very different attitude. Clearly must have had some sort of team meeting in between the two games. Do look a different side out here. A little play in the miss there for Mohammed. It's a good bit of bowling from Peatfield. He said he was full of action in the first game against Jersey. Picked up no wickets. Bowled 3 overs, went for 28. That ball's gone high in the air, over the top, and it's 6 runs straight away.
Fantastic shot.
Mohammed, straight drive for 6, showing intent straight away in the second over. Well, this has eerie reminders for Guernsey of that Jersey innings. Slapped around the ground straight away.
You like that word?
Slapped around. That's a nice phrase, actually. For some, maybe not. For me, I might overuse it. Who knows? That was just prodded on. Well, that's a nice end to the over there from Peatfield after being walloped. The over ends on 14 for no loss. Mohammed on 8 and Daniel Weston on 6. It's a strong start straight away from Germany.
They're going with another change of bowling here. This could be...
This is Thomas Fairlad. The ground is filled up nicely. Just taking a walk around in the innings break there, and there's plenty of people soaking up a bit of international cricket here on Guernsey, the KGV, which is good to see at the start of the tournament. Oh, there's a little play and miss there, caught well behind the stumps. Weston looking to play a late cut on that. Now he finds it, and he only finds a field of that. There we go, it's a bit of bad ball, it's a high edge. Is there a catch? Well, it's not, and they're looking a bit of confusion in the middle. They're safely back. That was Perchard. He almost reached that. Another top edge. We've seen that a couple of times today, Kira.
Yeah, this bowler seems to have taken the pace off the ball, and it's definitely effective.
Yeah, Josh Butler went for the switch of bowling. Comes down the crease. Just pops that one on mid off. There's no run there. And again, now he gets a bit more bat on ball. And that's gone for 6 again. A wonderful straight drive. Daniel Weston gets the 6 now. So he moves on to 14. That was a pretty good over so far there from Thomas Fairlad, but he looked to be eyeing that one up. He advanced down the crease to the ball before that. And suddenly he got the full contact the next ball. Then he comes again. He tries again and he stumped him. What a wonderful bit of skill from the keeper there. He tried it again and he's got him. A wonderful bit of keeping from Thomas Kimber. We actually might have bowled him. We're just going to have a double check here. It looked like a stumping, but it could have been a bowling. Well, that was a nice bit of skill, wasn't it, Kira?
Absolutely, and I think this just a little bit of pace off the ball, added pressure. Okay, they might have got the release ball, but I think it's a clever move. They've got quite a few bowlers at Guernsey, this team. They need to mix it up.
We're just going to get confirmation of whether that was a stumping or a bowling, but what it was a definite change in momentum here for the German side. 22 for 1. Fantastic over there from very hard. Changed it up. He was hit for 6, but nice ending as Perchel comes in again. A good bit of pace there. Wonderful bit of pace.
The Guernsey boys are up and about.
There's VJ Bangalore. There's a new batsman in the crease. Chicken A. Perch on it again. Well, let's just put it forward. They've gone for a single. It's a good bit of running there from the batsman. Called early there by Mohammed. They just bag a single. He moves on to 9. 23 for 1. So he was bowled. Confirmation there. Just line of vision. Well, that was a brilliant bit of bowling there from Thomas Ferriard to grab that wicket of Daniel Weston. As VJ faces his first. Just plays that onto the onside for dot ball.
Much better energy in the field here by Guernsey.
So what could have been said, Kira, at the interval from the coaches? Is it just improve, add a bit more pace, put a bit more pressure on, or is it a mental aspect to the game?
Oh, there's several things, but I think they can generate just so much energy. You know, get a wicket, stop a run, just small things that they have to really look as little wins.
Trots forward again. Perchel again. A bit of ambition. A menace. He's looking flying in this over here.
They look like they're having fun now.
Well, like we've been saying, this is every game counts. Only the winner of the whole tournament will progress to the global qualifiers in the UAE. This is the double header for Guernsey today, and they've only got 3 more games after this, so picking a win is vital. Have a little play and miss there. Great over so far. Pete Field is looking for something. Germany 23 for 1 now. They've got to build a solid base again after they've lost Daniel Weston. Another play and miss. And now they do look like they're having fun, Kira, you're right. A lot of encouragement here for William.
That was a very good over as well. It backed up the last over, so now he's handing the ball back over, I'd say, again to the spinner, slowed up again and challenged Germany. I'd like to see, I like when the batters meet in the middle. I'd like to see them communicate a little bit more again, as I've said, through the over to help each other out if they feel a little bit stuck.
Well, that's something we didn't hear much of in the Jersey game. Shouts of encouragement from the Guernsey fielders. Thomas Verliard comes in again. picked up a wicket in his first over. Again, bowling Western. It's a bit shot there, straight down a mid-off. Collected well, just for the single there.
He just needs to keep that line, and with his bowling action, there's no room for error. He needs to keep it really tight. A little bit more chat about the field as well, we're seeing in this innings. More so than the Jersey game.
He's bowling from the 4G end, where the AstroTurf football pitches are. Well, there's a big shout there. The umpires remain motionless. The whole team descending on the field there. Now the crowd getting into it a bit more here at the King G5 ground, which is good to see. It did strike the pad. But no movement at all as he comes in again. Well, he plays the late cut straight to the fielder there.
He just needs to keep it there. The release shot is coming. I can feel it coming. Here it's coming. It's winding up.
And a wide ball. Wide's the call from the umpire. It's almost like he's calling him to cut it to that fielder there. Guy standing. Point. And he tries it again. Takes the edge. As Petefield runs after it. Ball rolls the third man. Collected well. Just runs for a single.
Again, another really good over. He's slowing them down as well.
2 runs off the last ball. And that time he just sweeps it. Straight over the square leg for a single. Around the ground here, just in the field. Their legs come a bit more in. Just a late cut again. Well, that's arrived at point very easily, and it's a dot ball again. And this is a good over there from Thomas Filliard. 28 for 1 after 5 overs. After the flying start that Germany got off to, Guernsey have caught a bit more control, Kira.
They have, and it's good to see actually. When they're up and about, they're definitely effective. Thomas Villard coming on from the other end has definitely been a little bit of a game changer there. Needs to be backed up now again this end.
Well, William Petefield's going to be having another ball. Super overy last time.
Having a little debate.
Nearing the end of the super over.
I think he's going to need an ice bath at the end of the day. The ball has followed him everywhere.
In he comes again. Well, that's played well on the back foot. Pops down the third man just for the single there. It's good batting there from a...
Really nice shot. I think from Germany's point of view, they just need to keep the board ticking over. There's no real pressure on them as of yet.
Just played nicely. Hands at point again. Well, with a deep third man and a deep backward square leg. If Petefield keeps his pace up, is it a case of Germany just lasting the super over and then playing them out, or they're going to have to go for runs sooner? Just a single run off there. Well, 31 for 1 now. Played well, it's going to reach the boundary. Stopped by the fielder there. Slides over the deep fine leg, picks it up.
I think actually Guernsey were up around 38, 40 runs off their power play.
An absolutely flying start from Ashley Wright and Matthew Stokes. A big swing and a miss there. That's good from William Peatfield. Well, much better this game than he did against Jersey. Germany will be eager to put more runs on the board after the start they got off to. Mohammed has definitely slowed down, sitting on 14 off 14. VJ's comment, it's 4 off 9. Nearly into the super power play as well. Late cut there, and it's just missed the fielder, so it's going to dash back to the boundary, but they got a sweeper back. And straight in. Just the 2 off that. That's the end of the over here. Well, after a mad dash. Yeah, thank you, Ian. Certainly a mad dash, but I suppose one of the benefits about being in the Channel Islands, the beautiful Channel Islands here in Guernsey, certainly easy to get around. Kira, so nice to join a fellow Irish national. How are you, Kira?
So exciting.
And you guys have managed to stay on and get all your games completed, unlike me over at College Field.
Yeah, we've had actually quite a bit of rain, but we've been very lucky with our start times and all else.
Interestingly balanced game here. End of the power play. 6 overs gone, so the fielding restrictions ease. We're going to have a change in bowling because Letizier's off break's going to come on. He'll start with a big juicy full toss hammered down the ground towards long off, and a shocking piece of fielding. He looked for the one-handed pickup. Very lackadaisical there in the deep from Anthony Stokes. And that's just what Guernsey can't afford, Kerr.
Yeah, and I'm actually interested that they brought on Luke Letizier and didn't leave on Thomas Villard. I thought he was bowling well from that end.
Yeah, that Letizier name, synonymous with the south coast of England. Famous in the football world, of course. Matt Letizier down on the south coast. You football fan, Kira?
I do know him, yeah. You might be surprised.
So we're just out of the power play here. Guernsey making 117 for 10 from there. Ball shy of their 20 overs. Flatter this time. Short down the leg side. The umpire has a think about it and signals wide. Letizier not finding his length at all yet.
No.
Short again down the leg side, back to back wides, likely to be signalled. The umpire agrees. As the arms outstretched, he shakes his head. Letizier, this is poor stuff.
It is. I just don't think he's completing his action properly.
And the leg side again. It's going to be a third consecutive wide, and there's going to be more runs to the total because they'll come back for at least 2 more, so 3 runs to the total without a ball delivered. Letizier gives himself the double teapot. The hands are on the hips. Not a good start from him at all here, Kira.
No, unfortunately not. But he needs to switch it around. Just relax, reset, and go again.
Short, and that's real pump. That's been pulled away. Going to be more runs to the total here. Going to be a boundary 4. The struggles for Letizier continue. We've had 12 runs off just 3 legal deliveries in this over, and it's the advantage back to the Germans.
It certainly is, and it's actually a pity because the the Guernsey guys had built up a little bit of pressure and a little bit of momentum, and it's just gone the other way again. We've seen that actually quite a bit today. It's to and fro's quite a lot.
You've got to look for wickets when you're defending a small total like this. They did get one early breakthrough. Just like that, they nearly had a second. He was looking for the massive heave into the leg side, Mohammed. A little bit of a slog sweep. Out slog really, Ciara, but an under edge through to the keeper and a good stop from Thomas Kimber. Put away the late cut, it beats the man in the infield. That's a lovely shot from Mohammed. Good pace in the ball, not going to go for a boundary 4. It's Thomas Valliere doing the fielding, 2 more runs to the total, and the runs are coming easily through this over, Ciara.
They are too easily. There's no pressure on Germany at the moment. He just needs to finish this over now as strongly as he can.
Flatter again, beats him outside the off stump, so he'll finish with a dot. That ends Letizier's first over, an expensive one. 14 runs coming from it. Germany just 1 shy of the 50. Let's take a look at these bowling figures, Ciara. You were here for the first game. Who would you like to see Guernsey go to? What options have they got?
William Peatfield did well, and although he's only got 1 over left, again they have a couple of left arm bowlers that I think they really need to mix it up. Hooper's going to come on here. David Hooper, he bowled well in the first innings. But again, maybe short spells, 1 over spells. That might mix it up and bring on the wickets.
Just as you said there, David Hooper is going to come into the attack. Bowl those dibbly dobblers, seamers. The keeper, Kimber, he's going to come up to the stumps. Not operating at the same kind of pace as Peatfield. Really, Germany in the ascendancy here. They'll be looking not just to win, but they'll be looking to win by a good margin. Net run rate could play a key factor by the end of this week at some stage.
Yeah,
Clipped into the leg side, over the head of the infield. Plenty of time for one. Good work in the deep from Stokes.
Power play is one thing, but I think now they've spread the field and it's nearly too open now for Germany because they can just push the singles around. The bowlers really need to build up some pressure.
Yeah, 5 men allowed outside the circle after the first 6 overs of fielding restrictions, and Guernsey utilising all those 5. Into the offside, good running from Germany. No pressure even in the ring. That ball's clipped just to the left of the fielder at extra cover. They still get through for a single.
Like, it's all well and good being able to put out the 5, but at the same time it's nearly releasing. It's just too easy. So they really need to think on their feet.
Guernsey in danger of this game drifting away, and these wides are not going to help. Going to be 2 more runs to the total with a wide, and run through for 2 wides. Guernsey starting to look sloppy. Perhaps the fact the double header starting to pay on their fitness.
It could, yeah. I questioned that earlier on, but again, it's their home ground. They really have to fight.
Slower ball this time from Hooper, clipped into the leg side, and Mohammed's going to be happy with just 1. No need for them to come back for 2. The German bowling outfit impressed you, Dalwitzai and Machete?
Definitely the guy up front, yeah. He was fantastic. He's played a lot. He played for Afghanistan as well.
Is it Tilo Dalwitzai, yeah?
Yes, it is. And just his variation, his length, he really had them in trouble. I think all in all they were very patient as well, which stood to them.
Maybe more runs to the total. They're coming at ease for the Germans here. Great stories in world cricket over recent years. The rise of this German side. Wouldn't be betting against them this week. Definitely be in the mix, possibly with Jersey and Denmark, maybe the favourites for this event between those 3.
From what we've seen of Jersey this morning, I'd say yes, definitely.
I was across at College Fields this morning, Ciara, and Italy were quite impressive. They were behind the 8 ball of the game for 23 or 24 of the 30 overs that we played, but some real power hitting from Pereira helped get them home. Really good stuff this from Germany.
What do you think of the field, Lenny? What would you do for this? Just try squeeze, bring on a wicket?
Yeah, certainly it seems to be pretty defensive captaincy at the moment. 7 runs from that first Hooper over. And Germany moved to 56 for 1 after 8. I think they're probably just going through the motions a bit, Ciara, letting the German batters dictate the pace of the game, and they don't have the runs to play with. Just 62 more needed now for victory. Unless they can find wickets, they've got to find a way to get themselves back in the game, otherwise they're going to be 0-2, staring down the barrel after just one day of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Finals. There's going to be a change in bowling from the far end. I haven't got the...
I think it's Anthony Stokes, the opening bowler, on again.
Yeah, going to be the left arm off spin of Anthony Stokes. Expensive in his first over. Bowls at a good pace.
He does. He's maybe pulled a few flat on the first over, but...
Nicely clipped into the leg side. Mohammed's just gone about his business really nicely, isn't he?
Yeah. Again, but I don't mean to be negative to Guernsey as well, but they've no pressure on them as such at the moment. And
making it very easy for the German batsmen.
yeah.
Looked like a specific plan for Weston to go gung-ho from ball one. Shorter this time, pulled into the deep powerfully by Chikanaya. Going to be time for at least one. They will come back for two. A flat throw could have the fielder in trouble. Big appeal. Given not out. A huge appeal from the crowd behind me. You can see some animated scenes on the far side. Maybe the effects of a little shandy or two in the afternoon starting to kick in there. Almost more animated scenes in the crowd than on the pitch, Ciara.
Well, I have to say it was fantastic feeling.
Fuller this time, hit into the leg side. Could be an opportunity. Taken. That's the second wicket right in front of that big audience out there. They're cheering. They're almost on the pitch. Punch in the sky. That's the second wicket to fall. Guernsey find a way back into the game. Great scenes of celebration in the crowd. That's the breakthrough they needed, Ciara.
It sure is. They just need to figure out how now they're going to get the next. Just keep going. Pace off the ball is definitely working, and maybe even a little bit more flight. Put it up to them. Let them hit you for a six, but you're going to get them.
Yeah, it was just drifting into the pads of Chikanaya, and really, for me, it's a shot that he didn't need to play.
Yeah.
There's two men out there in the deep. If they just kept nudging the ball around, they were doing that so nicely. So going to be a little bit of pressure on Mohammed to bat through now. Looks like it's going to be time for the captain to come to the crease. And Catamaran Ganason. Just get that checked for you as we have a few drops of rain. In fact, it's going to be Machete coming in, elevated up the order. He's going to come in at number 4. So Machete in at number 4. As the rain starts to come down, beautifully bowled by Stokes, beats the outside edge immediately. And all of a sudden, there's a buzz back around the ground.
There certainly is. They're up and about again. I know they have one or two more spinners, and I'd love to see them on.
Driven down the ground by Machete, he'll get off the mark. Just give you a quick update at the end of this over about the Duckworth-Lewis position as the rain does come down here. Germany 60 for 2 after 9. They should be well ahead of the game. And indeed they are 13 ahead at the moment, Ciara. And I want to make sure they keep a note of that and stay above Duckworth-Lewis during
They'd have this information, well, they should, and they'd be looking at it. Big part of the modern game. You need to be on top of this.
The rain coming down reasonably heavily, but certainly it won't be enough to stop us just yet. And there might be just enough blue sky in the clouds to be able to get us through for a conclusion of this third game. Put away powerfully in front of square by Machete on the offside. It's really poor running from Mohammed. Machete wanted 2, Mohammed didn't. Mohammed, he's gone into the Richie Richardson floppy hat.
That's one thing in the second innings. I suppose the first innings here, Guernsey, they ran much better than they did earlier on today. Definitely more intent.
Fall into the block hole, driven straight back. Hooper, well fielded by him. The crowd really getting into it now. You can hear them screaming out, "Hoop!" Hooper, one of the favourite local boys here. Slower ball, down the ground, almost half a chance to Hooper. It's going to be a single to the total.
Good movement off the ball. That's the first time I've actually seen that. Who do they go to for the next over? They really need to plan ahead.
Slower again this time from Hooper. Lots of changes of pace. Nicely clipped off his legs by Machete. That's one of the two Stokes doing the fielding down at long on. Just be time for a single. Really important for Germany to have the experience of someone like Craig Machete to come in. Pulled into the deep, but straight to the man at deep backward square leg. You've been impressed with Germany overall, Ciara?
Yeah, I have. They look organised and they look like they have set plans and they've come out and they've executed them. They're very just gone about their business. It's not overly fancy. It's nice to watch though.
Beats him outside the off stump. Good delivery to finish the 10th over. More cheers from the Guernsey crowd over to our left. At the halfway stage, in this German chase, they're 64 for 2. Needing 118 to win. Let's take a look at the batting card so far. Weston did get them off to a flyer. One glorious 6 down the ground. But it's been Mohammed the mainstay of the innings so far. Plenty of batting to come for Germany.
There certainly is. Guernsey didn't get over 6.23 in their run rate. So it's definitely showing now. I don't think Germany are under any pressure at all.
Guernsey are going to need wickets.
Yeah, absolutely.
To turn this game on its head, and they're going to rely upon left arm spin to try and turn this game. Flatter attempted pull shot. Half an appeal, mainly from the crowd in the deep, it must be said. And over there on the bank on the far side, I believe a few ales might be flowing, Ciara. That's poor at cover. A misfield straight through the hands. And they're going to come back for 2. Not what Guernsey can afford.
No, not great running between the wickets either, but yeah, it's still another 2 to the total.
Such pressure in these tournaments. Big appeal given. That's the 3rd wicket. Delight for Stokes. A punch of the sky. We said that they'd need the spin to turn the game. Another pivot point here now. The 3rd wicket falls. Guernsey right back in it.
God, Andrew, I wouldn't be overly impressed with that shot. You'd be disappointed as a batter to be out to that.
Yeah, it looked like he was just trying to paddle it behind square on the leg side. Take a look at the replay on our screen. It looked to me to be very adjacent and an easy decision. Going on to hit maybe middle and leg. No complaints from the batsman. And after what was an anchor innings, we've seen 2 poor dismissals from the Germans, and plenty of time for this game to turn yet.
Absolutely.
So he's going to be the captain, who I thought would come in at number 4, Venkataraman Ganesen. He's going to come in at number 5 instead, the left-hander. A little bit of pressure on him because just when this chase looked like it was cruising to German opening match success for them, a large home crowd, a little bit of rain in the air, and a little bit of magic. And the left arm spin of Anthony Stokes, just turning this game on its head. Aggression right from the off from the captain of Germany. Hits that into the vacant area over towards Cow Corner. Plenty of time to come back for 2. As Lucas Barker does the tidying up down there.
Well bowled.
Yeah, really good stuff this from Stokes, and just bowling at a better pace for me than
Yeah,
Letitia.
just a little bit of variation, mix it up.
Nicely bowled again, operating around the wicket to the left-hander. That's going to end the 11th over. Germany now 68 for 3. And all of a sudden, on what is an overcast and rainy Saturday, the home side, the hosts, might have just found their way back into the game. A bit of dew for now to Kieran Metcalf. I'll be joined for the remainder of this game by the great Scott. Ian Leggett. Ian, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Never have I been referred to as the great Scott, Andrew. I'm absolutely delighted to be commentating with you.
Yeah, my pleasure. I was just taking a look back on that LBW during that over there, and it really was a poor shot. I'm not exactly sure what Mohammed was trying to do or why he felt the need to try and play across the line like that. An easy decision for the umpire. And this trial by spin is going to continue because after a costly first over, they're going to go back for a change of ends to Letitia. See if the change of ends can do the job for him.
Well, Letitia, both times, both games, the word lackadaisical has been used a couple of times in this broadcast. It just seems a bit costly for quite a few runs in both the overs he's bowled today and also in the previous game against Jersey. It just wasn't exactly what the side needed at that time.
Lackadaisical was used in the broadcast.
Yes.
Wow, we didn't quite get anything as extravagant across the college field over there, perhaps because I was mainly manning things by myself. But Andrew Leonard here, delighted to be bringing these pictures for ICC with Ian Leggett, and we're going to call out the remainder of the day as Germany in their opening match of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Final. The qualifier to the global qualifier. Third game of 15 this week. The hosts, having lost the opening morning fixture to their Channel Islands rivals Jersey, they really need to win here to get back in the game.
Absolutely, an 8-wicket loss against Jersey, and Kira was saying it comprehensive was exactly what it was.
Nice use of the feet from Machete. How important is it for Germany to have someone with the experience right around the world like Craig Machete at the crease?
It's the one thing they've got against Guernsey. It's experience throughout the entire lineup.
Hit down the ground, straight towards the non-striker. He'll pick out Stokes in the deep. He'll do the fielding. And they'll just come through for a single. I was obviously across at College Fields, Ian. How's the pitch played? It looks to be a little bit in it for the bowlers, perhaps?
It was a little bit in it. One side is pitching up at the 4G field side, but this end that they're bowling from now, the hotel end, when it's bowling towards this end, it's tended to stay low. So it's just treated the batsman a little bit more.
Letitia coming around the wicket to the German captain Guernsey. Just get through for a quick single. Looks to me as though required run rate's not going to come into it. Guernsey need a couple more wickets.
They need a couple more minutes, and you said it in the commentary, a little bit of magic. The rain kind of has assisted the side. As the ball's just hit straight there. Sure, and the rain has really had an effect on this game, but I think the Germany side in their dressing room will be very disappointed with the way they ceded wickets very softly in the middle order and has let Guernsey back in this game. They were well in charge of that chase at the start, obviously losing an early wicket to Daniel Weston, but after that, suddenly they've managed to pick up a bit of momentum. If we just look at the scorecard here, a strong start with Mohammed and Weston at the start, picking 30 and 14 respectively, but 2 quick wickets, and like you said in commentary, the game is wide open all of a sudden.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll just see if we can very quickly take a look at the state of play as well, because Guernsey, after making 117 all out, we're going to have a change of bowling in the background as Valliard will come back into the attack, but Germany going at a run of ball, right on track with the rate. They should be well in hand. They're going to need 46 more runs from the remaining 8 overs of this chase to get an opening day victory, and how crucial that will be for them with Italy having got a healthy win over Norway in game 2. Good piece of fielding by Letitia, mix up between, there could be half a chance, can he hit the stumps? Big appeal given! A huge mix up between Machete and he's run his captain out. That's the 4th wicket.
What a wicket that is for Guernsey, and what a bit of fielding we just saw right in front of us. A beautiful pickup, and he's delivered that straight to the bowler there, but he did well. He did really well to get that ball. He always had to do a 360 on the ground and get that ball hitting the wickets. His side was a little bit cautious whether they'd done it. You saw the fans that you've been talking about, the ones that have been on the shandies earlier, almost questioning whether that was a wicket, but another one, another big wicket here.
Yeah, the captain, the German captain, Guernsey, he was, in my opinion, he was found guilty of a bit of ball watching. He pulled the ball, almost swept it behind to the fine leg on the leg side. Machedi immediately called him through, but Guernsey was watching whether or not the misfield was taken. But it was Letizier with the diving one-handed stop. He picked up, threw it in, and we've ended up with the 4th wicket, and that's exactly what Guernsey needed. Home crowd really getting into the game now.
Well, Singh's the new batsman here for Germany, and we know this game's going to go down to the wire with the amount of runs that required, 46. This 8 overs. But Germany are going to need to just stick to this run rate. Guernsey now all over the German team. As he comes in again. And this time it's just prodded forward and picked up gently. And that's the dot balls that the Guernsey side are going to want to be seeing here. Fans all around KG5 enjoying the sight of Guernsey on top.
Driven down the ground by Machedi just for a single. I've only seen a little bit of these two games. In fact, we're going to have a misfield at long off. That's really, really poor. It was a regulation single, and a fumble from Lucas Barker down at long off has allowed Machedi to get back on strike. Really good running from Harmanjeet Singh.
Well, that's the exact thing they don't want to be seeing. That's what happened all the time during the Jersey game and allowed an easy chase.
Fuller hit down the ground by Machedi. I've only seen a little bit of both of these matches, but it looks to me as though the standout bowlers for Guernsey seem to be their 2 left arm spinners.
Absolutely. They've really changed the dynamic. Perchard, Peatfield, pardon me, William Peatfield did well in this game, but in both the games we've seen, especially Thomas Villiard, pick up the pieces a little bit from the bowling unit and just slow down the run rate and allow the game to drag on a little longer. But in this, they're putting them side in a possible match-winning situation.
Yeah, nice start that from Singh. He just opens the face, lets it run off the bat. It's going to be Peatfield who tidies up that short third man. The required run rate, as you can see on the bottom of your screen, never getting above 6 and over, so 42 to win, 7.1. Pressure can do funny things in these associate events.
We've been talking about it all day, Andrew. You know, the amount, what an incredible opportunity this is for all the teams involved in this Europe final. But are they used to playing in situations where, you know, so much is online? The 6 teams, like we said, you know, there are teams that are possibly favoured, likes your Italy's, the likes of your Germany's, the likes of your Denmark's. But Guernsey know, after playing one game today, that all could change if they pick up a victory today and they go in the next day. And they could suddenly be in with a chance of winning the tournament.
Yeah, it's essentially a World Cricket League format.
Absolutely.
With 6 teams playing each other once. And the only difference to the traditional World Cricket League format, which I was down in Namibia commentating on the very final one, World Cricket League 2, is that we have 1 spot for grabs as opposed to 2. Traditionally, you'd have had 2 promoted or 2 go up the system. So it's arguably even more cutthroat. There's so much on the line for these sides here this week.
And if someone gets 5 victories, you know, they get through. I know that sounds as simple as it saying that, but, you know, every team, every single game, whether you're playing the favourites of the tournament or you're playing someone that maybe isn't with a chance, everything matters in it.
Into the leg side and more mix up between the fielders. Going to be half a chance at the non-strikers end. He misses the stumps. The throw came into Letizier on the bounce. He looked to flick the ball onto the stumps, a bit like Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He misses and the chance goes a-begging.
They might rule that one, Andrew. They might rule that one. It could have been another quick run out here. Letizier comes in again. Letizier.
Fuller this time hit into the offside. That's a powerful drive. Machedi wide of the man at long off, so plenty of time for them to get back for 2. I think the German running between the wickets is causing their coaching staff a few heart palpitations.
Well, Kira, and it's one thing that is fantastic for this competition. After watching Guernsey against Jersey in the first game, like we said, it was a very comprehensive victory, but Guernsey have really showed up in this game, especially their fielding performance.
Hit down the ground. There is a man at long on, but it's gone straight of him and it's going to be 1 bounce, and Machedi wisely signals to Singh no need for 2 there. Or Guernsey, as early as this opening day, staring down the barrel. They must win here.
Well, we've been saying that since the start of the game. If they go in tomorrow with only playing the 3 matches and they've lost the 2, even if they get 3 wins, what does that guarantee them?
And that is how this tournament structure works. 6 teams, 5 matches each. We had a washout the game I was across at, with a very heavy downpour leaving the pitch unplayable. Fuller and quicker from Letitia. That's nicely bowled to end his 3rd over. Singh gets it down the ground for a single. End of the 14th. Germany 83 for 4. That game between Denmark and Norway, Ian, is going to be replayed on Monday on the reserve day, so that is one of the benefits of the tournament.
Absolutely.
With the importance and the context of this event. We do have reserve days scheduled in.
I think that's credit to the planning of this event. When you play in these conditions in a Channel Islands, Guernsey at this time of year, you're not guaranteed absolute perfect weather, and like you are in the UK. So it's clever planning, and at least it gives the opportunity for the teams to maximise their points and not miss out on a possible spot at the global qualifier just because of.
Guernsey captain's going to continue this trial by spin. Villiard to continue from the 4G end. Slower through the air this time. Driven nicely by Singh. Just going to be a single, and really that's all Germany need to do. They just need to not panic.
Well, I've just seen a slightly nervous Germany coach, Stephen Knox, also coach of the Scotland Wildcats team, just standing over there at the pavilion, and he didn't look the most comfortable of people.
Hit down the ground. He's going to look a little bit more comfortable now, because that's going to fly into the synthetic surface. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3. Sensational from Machete. He got right to the pitch of the ball, a full extension of the arms for a maximum 6.
And that's the confidence boost they needed. It's amazing how one shot in cricket can completely change the momentum of an over, and not just an over, but a run chase here. Suddenly the required run rate is going to look a little bit more comfortable in each over, and suddenly that total is looking a bit more in their eye line.
Down the track again, he's repeated the dose, back-to-back 6s. Machete wants to end this in a hurry, and he's going to extinguish the hopes of the host nation, perhaps in this entire tournament, because back-to-back 6s are exactly what the Germans wanted, and they bring it down to just 22 more runs to win.
Well, 22 with 5.3 to go. It's fair to say that 2 shots may have just shifted this entire game into the German hands. Guernsey need to pick up a wicket fast, Andrew.
Flatter this time, more good use of the feet by Machete, showing why he's such a talent and had such success in his career. Good move from Germany to get Machete up the order.
Absolutely. I think we're seeing a prime example why, with the experience, with the confidence that he carries, he's willing to advance down the crease at a point like this. So,
half a chance dropped. Should have been taken at the cover. That's Lucas Barker who puts that down. 2nd or 3rd misfield from him. It was hit in the air to his right. Should have been taken.
a difficult opportunity, like he's. Oh well, it was a difficult chance, but it probably should have been taken. He had hands to it as well. Just dropped off his fingers.
Really good use of the feet from Machete. Looks so uncomfortable. Another mix-up in the running between the wickets. Going to be run out. Machete survives, but Singh has to go. A ball after he's been blocked. Machete puts his hands on his hips, say, why didn't you listen to the call? But Singh has got to go.
Well, it's a wicket they needed, but was it a wicket a bit too late after them 2 consecutive sixes? Machete was looking incredibly comfortable down the crease. Great use of the feet, like you said. But it's another stomping, another mix-up in the middle, Andrew.
Yeah, certainly issues with the running between the wickets throughout this batting innings for Germany, and that's going to be something that the coach is going to be making sure he'll want to work on. Stephen Knox will not be happy with his team in that department, but Machete's put them on the brink. 20 to win, 4 overs left, or 5 overs left, just 4 and over the required run rate, but crucially Machete's still there.
Absolutely, and if he does anything like he did in the last over, he challenged the bowler a bit more, advanced down the wicket twice, 3 times, just to show his intent, and 2 straight drives for 6, consecutive sixes like that. You don't get any more confident stroke in cricket than that. So he'll be looking to play a bit more of them shots, as we see.
Yeah, just
Letitia bowling again.
Taking a look back on the replay, definite mix up there between the two, and in my eyes, Singh was again caught ball watching as Machete called him through. He continues to impress. Single down the ground, and in their guard there.
They have a little conference in the middle there, just a little fist bump. Shady clearly encouraging the batsman.
Yeah, it's Muslim Ashraf in at number 7 for Germany. Oh God, a big full bunger from Letitia. Lucky to get away with it, a no ball. Ashraf practices hitting that one into the deep, but this time he just patted it back for a dot ball.
Guernsey need to do is just pray for dots, pray for these singles, and get to them last 2 overs and see if they can create a bit of magic here, Andrew. If they can, they cannot afford these 2s.
In fact, I think it's actually Amir Khan Mangal at the crease in at number 7. There's been a change of shirts between Ashraf and Mangal, so apologies for that. But Mangal in at number 7, and he's off the mark with a single. I think it might be confusing our scorers as well. They're trying to work out who's in at the crease at number 7.
Well, Letitia in again.
Slower this time from Letitia. Good flight from him. Tempting from Mashedi, but just hits it into the offside for a single. And with the required run rate where it's at, Germany just need to keep the wickets in hand and get the job done.
What's good to see is the Guernsey body language hasn't dipped quite yet. They got hit. They got hit big in the last over, but seems to be a bit of encouragement around the boundary.
Hit into the deep, and he's going to fly that one all the way for 6. Mangal's not going to hang around, and that 6 is going to put Germany right on the brink. It flies all the way into the car park.
Yeah, wonderful strike there. Just puts himself on one knee and sweeps that away. And that's exactly what they needed. Like you said, he doesn't want to hang about. I don't think the German team sitting in the over the pavilion now are also thinking the same. They're encouraging their team on just the same as well as Stephen Knox. They're looking to finish this game swiftly.
Yeah, Letitier's struggles continue. It was an expensive spell from him. 32 coming from his 4 overs. Really disappointing. He's got his hands on his knees and is disgusted with his own efforts today. It might be a case of too little too late. You can see Mangal on your screen there practicing that slog sweep that he just hit for 6. And Germany not only looking to get the job done, but done with a little bit of time to spare to ensure that they get across the line with a little bit of a net run rate boost too.
Absolutely.
Jimmy Stokes back into the attack, and he's given the treatment down the ground as well. Another one flies into the 4G pitch. Really good batting this from Germany, despite the wickets they're losing. And they're going to get home with a canter, just 6 to win now.
Well, we're not seeing an impressive bowling performance here from Guernsey at the death. They have not provided, and I was actually beginning to question the ability after the opening game of how easy it would be actually to play and hit boundaries, especially in a T20 format that was minimal in the opening game, but Germany have showed how.
Shady looks to repeat the dose, but can only skew it off an inside edge back past the diving Stokes. And that's going to be a single. Anthony Stokes there. Sprawling effort, can't quite get there. Our graphics just updating on the bottom of your screen as the scorers try to work out who's at the crease. But I think it's just 5 runs to win now. Looks for his slog sweep again. He seems to like that shot, drifting on with the arm going down the leg side.
Wow, currently on 106. Only the... I think the Guernsey going into the next game. The bowler comes in and just plays that off his hip, and it rolls down to the fielder. Just picks up another single. It's 107 now, the total.
Yeah, so 11 to win, correction for the Germans. We'll just get those graphics updated at the bottom of your screen. Just our scoring team just getting a little confused by the change in shirts between Muslim Ashraf and Amir Mangal. Flatter, quicker through the air. That's well bowled by Stokes, finds a leading edge from Mashedi.
And I think Guernsey going forward in this tournament, they're going to need to look at their bowling performance, and especially towards the deeper end of the innings. They can't allow easy runs and big shots to worsen their chases. A little mix up in the field there. The batsman not happy with something that's going on. Stokes coming again.
Beautiful stuff from Machete. Drifted into his pads. He looked for the sweep shot. A little bit of a slog sweep behind square on the leg side. No fielder down there. Going to be another boundary for Germany. Are finishing this game in a hurry.
They're finishing in style as well, Andrew. It's an impressive performance all round by the German side. And that's it. It's game over. They're shaking hands. And Germany have completed their first victory of this Europe final, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Finals. And Guernsey, well, it's 2 games today and it's 2 losses, Andrew.
Yeah, the worst possible start for the hosts. And the Germans, they have finished this game in impressive style, led by Craig Machete with the bat. A big, tall Glamorgan all-rounder. Super stuff from him. And dismay for the hosts in front of what's a really healthy crowd here at the KGV grounds in Guernsey.
Oh, it's been an absolutely fantastic day of cricket, Andrew, and especially the opening day of a tournament held on their home soil. It's been a really cracking day of cricket. We've had 2 pretty competitive games of cricket and the Channel Derby starting off, you know, a repeat of the Insular Cup. And then they've had a nice display of batting and bowling today in front of, like you said, a pretty healthy crowd here at the KGV as the German side are applauding off the Guernsey team on home soil. And it's fair to say that it's going to be very challenging to see if this Guernsey side can make anything more of this tournament.
Yeah, Craig Machete ends 34 not out. He finished the job off in style. For his side, handshakes between both of the teams, good warmth between the sides. But real dismay for this Guernsey side, the hosts of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup European Finals. But delight for Germany. They're going to start with a win. That's exactly what you need in this competition. You need to get winning early. You're probably going to need to win at least 4 of your games. So let's take a look at some of the figures from earlier. This was earlier on. Impressive German bowling effort, particularly Wardak with 4 for 20.
Absolutely, and he really did change the game. Wardak put in a couple of wickets and it was needed. Guernsey got off to an absolute flyer with the likes of Ashley Wright hitting well at the start, and it was the complete opposite of what we saw against Jersey. They put in an absolute flyer.
Yeah, so they restricted the host Guernsey to just 117.
And this, like we said, we have Izzatullah Dalatsai, who is also probably the second most impressive performer for the German side. His pace, his variation, it was something that the Guernsey side never experienced against Jersey in the opening game. But after that, it seemed...
Yeah, so Germany, they're going to run out winners. They will join both Jersey and Italy on top of the table with 2 points each. And for this, on day 1 of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Europe Final, we're going to bid you farewell. Andrew Leonard's going to sign out. We'll see you tomorrow, where myself, Ian Leggett and Ciara Metcalf will see you tomorrow with a full programme of games. We will have Jersey against Denmark in the morning, alongside Italy against Germany, before the afternoon games of Jersey against Norway and Italy against Guernsey. So Italy have the double header up tomorrow. We'll have a full programme with you from 10:45 a.m. We'll be on air before then on the YouTube ICC channel. ICC YouTube channel. Ian will finish with a bit of spoonerism. But for now, it's farewell. We'll see you tomorrow.